Well, friends of the world, Maldini, let's analyze what this victory of Real Madrid has been 2-0 against Girona. As I was saying, it's a little later because I commented you already have a video of the Manchester City-Liverpool on Movistar, so I had to watch the match recorded. And it took me a little longer to make the video, of course, but now you have it here. Once the match has been watched, of course, to analyze it, to comment on it. What I thought about it, this victory of Real Madrid, a comfortable victory for Real Madrid, although it's true that the second goal came very late. With two protagonists, I would say three protagonists, but the main one is Luka Modric. Today he was a starter, Luka Modric. I think there is a feeling, logically, that soon the Bernabeu will stop seeing the great Luka Modric. And every time he starts, there is a logical anticipation for Luka Modric. Well, Luka Modric usually never disappoints. And today, even less so, because he was the man who pulled the strings for Madrid in the first half. And on top of that, he scored a stunning goal that made the difference in the match, because the match, Madrid was getting stuck. Madrid was playing well. I think they were playing well, but it's true that they were getting stuck. They weren't creating too much danger either. That's true. In fact, Girona had a couple of incursions with some danger, with a couple of saves from Courtois, but Luka Modric appeared to score that stunning goal, one of the most beautiful goals of his career. Luka Modric's goal. You are quite young and you might not remember, but surely if you search and are more experienced, you will see it. It reminded me a lot of a goal that was scored, but not given, because it went in and wasn't awarded by Michel against Brazil in the 1986 World Cup. The chest control and how he hits that ball are very similar. Impressive. Michaels hit the crossbar, bounced inside, and came out. And they didn't award the goal. Back then, there was no VAR, of course. And here, it didn't hit the crossbar. It was much more precise and was an incredible goal. Impossible for Gazzaniga. And it was a showcase by Luka Modric in the first half. But I want to talk about more things, because it's not just Luka Madrid. Fundamentally, Luka Modric. It was a match that had its risks, because Madrid didn't have Jude Bellingham. And that has caused, and it's something I want to emphasize quite a bit, that has caused, let's see if I have time to make a video with Wisecat on the topic, that has caused Kylian Mbappé to do even more work. I have seen Kylian Mbappé coming back quite a bit to receive in that position where Luka Modric usually is. And I think that in a way it has affected Mbappé, who, in my opinion, played an outstanding match. In my opinion, he played an outstanding match. Kylian Mbappé. But that, in a way, has affected him, because it has taken him a bit away from the area. He combined a lot. And then, in the end, he ended up making that combination. I put this photo in the thumbnail because that small partnership, football, many times in the history of football, we have known great small partnerships. And if this small partnership, Vinicius-Mbappé, ends up working, Madrid is going to be really hard to stop in attack, because they are two players with an incredible ability to disrupt, both Vinicius and Mbappé. And the second goal, Mbappe's pass is millimetric for Vinicius, who arrives, but they are starting to understand each other very well, and that can be fundamental for Madrid. Let's look at the starting 11, because the match has left quite a few things. As I said, I was able to watch it in full on delay because I commented on that City-Liverpool match, for which you also have a video, of course. Here, we deliver Friends of the World, Maldini. I had to watch the match on delay, but here we deliver. In fact, I watched the first half live before the Liverpool match started, and the second half on delay after the Liverpool match. I held on, even though I already knew the result, of course. Well, Courtois to make this video for you. Courtois in goal with a couple of very commendable interventions. Luka Vázquez, right back with Asensio, with Alaba. David Alaba has been a starter. I think Ancelotti is assessing him to see to what extent he can perform, but it certainly seems very difficult to imagine seeing him in an important match. Now key matches are coming up. The one against Real Betis away, and then those two matches. Well, before that, Real Sociedad. A match that I will comment on, by the way, on Movistar next Wednesday. Then Real Betis away. Two difficult away matches, and then the one against Atletico de Madrid at home. It will be from the Champions League semi-final. From the Champions League round of 16. Tchouaméni Madrid. That is to say, today Tchouaméni played in the midfield, or Sim Valverde without Ceballos. Without Valverde, without Ceballos. Players who are currently very important in Real Madrid. Very important in Real Madrid, of course. Without Bellingham, a key player in Real Madrid, for me, the great leader of Real Madrid on the field, although little by little Kylian Mbappé is also starting to be. And what he has done is put Modric on the left, Brahim on the right, with Mbappé and Vinicius closer together up front. This scheme is practically a 4-2-4, I would say, 4-2-4. Let's see. Girona with Gazzaniga are now David Lopez, Krejci, who played a great match, a great game by Krejci, and Blin. It's true that later Miguel Gutierrez logically also ended up quite far back because Madrid had long phases of dominance. So Miguel Gutierrez, who played He tried to play when Girona had the ball in the midfield, but he played quite far back, often with Oriol Romeo and Ivan Martin as a double pivot. And then Van de Beek, Sigankov, and Danjuma, who played as a false nine. They practically Van de Beek up with the two. Well, I think more or less the key is Miguel Gutierrez in the back and forth and Sigankov. Logically, he wasn't working as much anymore, but he didn't appear much. It was a Girona that defended the area and their field quite well, quite withdrawn, with Oriol and Ivan Martin quite withdrawn. Girona was defending quite well and making things quite difficult for Madrid. Madrid had control of the match, practically always. But it's true that it was quite difficult for them to create much danger. It was quite difficult for them to create danger until this great goal by Luka Modric came. I insist, the issue of Mbappe's mobility has been fundamental. I think Mbappé played an outstanding match. Today, he couldn't score, but I think Kylian Mbappé, for me, played a truly outstanding match. Here we have him again with that little partnership with Vinicius. He didn't have Valverde in the middle. He didn't have Ceballos, who are key players right now at Real Madrid. Both fundamental, because Ceballos is having the effect, Toni Kroos, without comparing him logically, but the Toni Kroos effect, which Luka Modric did today, but Luka Modric cannot do repeatedly in several matches. As I said, Girona defended well inside. Miguel Gutierrez caused some problems. Danjuma, some little problem. Yes, he caused some for Real Madrid, but I saw Madrid very comfortable. Despite not having Jude Bellingham. And what's happening with Madrid, while we see this photo of Luka Modric, who I believe, along with Vinicius and Mbappé, is the man of the match. I mean, Girona, there have been moments when they have pushed forward. Does it have that reminiscence? Girona going forward, as they often do with Michel, the team is no longer what it used to be logically. I was talking to you in the preview about that match at the Bernabeu 2 seasons ago where they dominated Real Madrid in many phases. And of course, they push forward and realize that if they go forward against Madrid, they get crushed in the open space. There have been a couple of plays. There was a play with a direct long ball from Luka Vázquez, which Krejci really has to stop, no matter how, against Mbappé. And it was a yellow card. Girona knew that any play could cause a lot of damage to Madrid by reaching the open space. And that's how it was. In the second half, they had no choice but to take more risks, and it ended up crushing them. There is an important detail, and it's that sometimes Miguel Gutierrez defended a lot at the back, but of course, when Brahim, who played as a right winger, faced him, when Brahim faced him, already with Ceballos on the field, the goal for 2-0 came in the final stretch. Madrid had chances to settle it earlier. Vinicius has been quite erratic in the final meters. He made some very good plays, but then he was erratic until that pass from Mbappé, where he practically just poked it in to score the 2-0. But I was saying that Brahim was causing quite a bit of trouble to Blin. And that forced Miguel Gutierrez to have to defend him, because logically Brahim was getting past Blin with ease, as he played quite close to the right wing. Good position for Brahim as well. Maybe not his best, but a good position for Brahim. Anyway, let's take a look at some details from Flash Score, and tomorrow, when the Wisecout report is available, I think I'll have time to make a Wisecout report for you on what this match was like. Because we see that Real Madrid had 22 shots, which is an incredible amount. I mean, 22 shots from Real Madrid, compared to only 6 from Girona, 5 on target. But, well, Real Madrid had a lot of shots in the first half. You see, they only had 10. 2 on target, and in the second half, they had 12, a little more. That is to say, a Real Madrid, honestly, very superior from start to finish. It took them a while to score the first goal. Luka Modric appeared to make that first goal, and from there, the match was way clear. Vinicius hit the crossbar with a shot at 1-0, creating a lot of danger. And this small partnership ended up resolving the match 2-0 for Madrid. Barca remains the leader due to goal difference, but the league is spectacular. All 3 win, all 3 deliver. It was a match day where all 3 had games that seemed quite manageable at first glance. Perhaps Atletico de Madrid had the toughest one in Valencia, but even so, and all 3 resolved without problems. We'll see what happens in the next match day, because the league is on fire. Friends of the world, Maldini, a hug. Bye.